Hours after pleading for her life in front of the jury, she
found out the 32-year-old wasn't done talking.
I did apologize to them, that I'm sorry, that I'll never be able to make up for what I did. Well, then I'm sorry I didn't say that, because certainly I am sorry. I think, in a sense, meaningless, especially since nobody believes what I'm saying anyway.
Why do you keep talking?
Well, because I know that I'm not just, I've lied before. That doesn't mean that I'm a liar by definition, by character. I don't know. I feel a little betrayed by them. I don't dislike them. I just was really hoping that they would see things for what they are, and I don't feel that they did.
Now I want to live as just another lie from Jodi Arias.
Well, I don't know what that means. Was I lying when I said I want to die, or was I lying when I say, please spare my life, you know? Whatever happens, I'm just going to take it and deal with it. Well, what do you mean by that? Why don't I kill myself? Is that what you're asking?
No, why don't you, if you truly care about their closure?
Well, I've caused them a lot of pain. I've caused my family a lot of pain. And I think that by asking for death, I'm only going to cause more pain to my family.
If you... Would you kill you?
I don't believe in, so the answer would be no.
For now.
Well, this is a court of law. It's not a place to go and act crazy, or, I shouldn't use that term, but it's not a place to go and just let loose.
That'd be great. Yay, bottled water. Never put my makeup on in front of a total stranger, but that's okay. You're not that much of a stranger.
Jodi, right from the get-go.
It's been like weeks since I put makeup on. I'm glad to see this is waterproof. I don't plan to cry, but, you know, I probably won't.
Why do you need to be?
Travis and I used to argue about my driving because my rearview mirror was always facing me instead of toward the back. He made me feel vain sometimes.
It appeared to me as if she had some experience behind the camera.
Whatever you want to change, or if you don't think something looks right, just let me know. I'll adjust it. I guess if I start getting shiny, then we can take a break. Can you do me a favor and just hold that?
Sure.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I got it. As the jury gets ready to consider a possible death, and it's a very different side of the woman.
Killer.
I guess I've seen better days, but that'll have to. I want to address that because I think that people don't really understand. And there are a few reasons I did that, and one is one of my first thoughts when I was actually being booked. I was a little like, wow, I see this stuff on TV all the time. This is so interesting. It's almost just like it is on TV. And I thought to myself, you know, what would Travis do if he were in this situation? This is why I'm here. And, you know, barring the fact that he would likely not get himself into such circumstances, he would be smiling. He would be like, hey, you know, he would just flash this grin that he always does. And so there was part of that. And then also part of the fact that I knew it would be all over the internet, so why not? And then there was also the fact that I know that I'm innocent, and even though this is a very serious thing to be charged with, there's no reason for me to be sad, because I know that I'd never hurt Travis, and there's no reason to be upset over this in my mind. Everything, I have faith that in the end everything will be made known, everything will come out, and in the meantime, smile, say cheese.
This beautiful young woman is about to go on trial for her life, accused of the savage, frenzied murder of her ex-boyfriend.
I know that I'm innocent. God knows I'm innocent. Travis knows I'm innocent.
She's
It wasn't very pretty. Breakups are never easy, but that sort of signifies.
even have Jodi's palm print in his blood.
Did you kill Travis Alexander?
I absolutely did not kill Travis Alexander. I had nothing to do with his murder. I didn't harm him in any way.
I met Jodi Arias for a jailhouse interview. Her hair now light brown, and she dropped a bombshell.
Witnessed Travis being attacked by two other individuals.
Who?
I don't know who they were. I couldn't pick them out in a police lineup.
So what happened?
They came into his home and attacked us both.
She says a man in...
Proud that I just left my friend there to be slaughtered at the hands of two other people. I'm not proud of that at all.
You understand, you look guilty here.
I understand that everything, all of the evidence against me right now is very compelling.
What really happened in there?
In a nutshell, two people even shot a real gun.
You did not stab him 27 times?
No, that's heinous.
Or slit his throat from ear to ear?
I can't imagine slitting anyone's throat.
Jodi Arias is sticking to her story that two mystery killers murdered...
The jury is going to convict me.
Why not?
because I'm innocent, and you can mark my words on that one. No jury will convict me.
Regardless of what happens with the jury, you're going to have to deal with the fact for the rest of your days, however long that is, that you killed someone. How hard is that going to be, and how hard is it for you to deal with that?
It makes me feel very ugly inside. And I know that that was just one day, but I feel like even though it shouldn't, it's going to define the rest of my life and maybe beyond. So it's very difficult. It's something that I haven't processed, or I haven't really dealt with, or it's something that's difficult to face even still. So it's something I'm going to be trying to process probably till my last day.
Do you think the time will come when you can forgive yourself for what you did?
I think I may get there.
You've talked about spirituality a lot, and you've...
I'm not deeply religious at this point. I still consider myself spiritual.
Do you believe in heaven and hell?
Yes.
And if you do believe in heaven and hell, where do you think you're going? And can you deal with, if you think you're going to hell, can you deal with that? Or do you not think you would be going there?
I don't know if I believe in hell in the traditional sense that a lot of people do. I do believe that, I believe in forgiveness, and I believe in mercy, and I believe in second chances. I do believe that going to heaven, or the opposite of what hell would be, is something that needs to be earned. Well, when I say earned, I should probably clarify. I think that grace comes in, and there's no way that I could possibly make up entirely for what I've done. So all I can do is do what I can, and the idea is that grace fulfills the rest, makes up for the rest.
Do you think, when we're talking about forgiveness, that Travis's family will ever forgive you?
It's hard to imagine that they would. I hope that they're able to someday. I don't know what their religious beliefs are, but I know that Christian-based faiths and the Mormon faith, which Travis was Mormon, I'm baptized Mormon, it's required that we forgive in order to be forgiven. So I also read once a church authority had said that sometimes when you're so angry, you're not able to forgive, that it's enough to ask for the grace to be able to one day forgive, even if you can't get there. I don't even know if they're at that point. I wouldn't expect them to be.
Okay, who's making her?
Has your life in their hands?
Well, it was difficult. I think I was shaking, and I didn't know if anyone else would notice, but people commented on it afterward. I was almost convulsing. So I was very nervous. I was emotional, but it's like I have a lot of practice suppressing things, which isn't a good practice, but I utilized a little bit of that so that I could maintain my composure instead of getting overly emotional and not being able to proceed.
You realize people view that as being cold.
Well, they're not in my shoes, and I'm certainly not cold. I feel like I'm tooting my own horn when I say all this, so I've
asked you the question, so toot away, you know.
Well, I feel uncomfortable, but I've done things to help people.
Right.
And
I mean,
I tell my mom.
Your mom didn't get to say this in court, so I'm giving you the opportunity now to tell America what your mom...
I guess that's really all I needed. Sorry. Don't roll the tape yet.
Jodi, how did you meet Travis and when?
We met at the Rainforest Cafe in the MGM Grand in Las Vegas.
How long ago was that?
That was in September of 2006. Engaged in conversation constantly, and he wanted to know about me, and people like to talk about themselves, so it was just one thing led to another, and we became great friends.
Did you two work together?
We worked together on occasion. We were with the same company, but we sort of worked in different departments.
Is that how you met at the same?
Yes, we met at a convention where our company was.
You mentioned that you guys love to travel together. Tell me a little bit about where you traveled.
We traveled to, the first major place we traveled to was the Grand Canyon. We went there on a few occasions, Havasupai, with some friends, and we went to Sedona. We went all over New Mexico. We saw the Carlsbad Caverns, we saw Roswell, we saw the Balloon Fiesta. We went to a spa that was kind of renowned in Santa Fe.
Why was he a good traveling companion?
Oh, he was a great traveling companion for many reasons. Traveling with Travis was kind of like traveling with your own personal comedian or serenader or philosopher. He always, had great things to talk about that would make you think, and he was always bursting out in song, and he was a very funny guy, so there was never a shortage of laughs. And so he was just a great person to travel with. He had an enthusiasm and a lust for life that we always wanted to see what was around the next corner, and so I think that was something that we both shared.
Could you talk a little bit about your faith? I know you had mentioned in the previous interview that he actually baptized you.
He did.
What was
that?
The
reason, when a person is baptized into the church, they generally are able to choose the person they'd like to baptize them. And the reason I chose Travis was because he was very instrumental in bringing me into the church, and he was the first person to share the gospel with me and give me a copy of the Book of Mormon, and he challenged me to read it, and I did. And it was a decision that I made, and I could tell he was very honored when I asked him, and he, of course, was happy to do so. So, baptizing, I think, is a sacred thing.
How did your friendship grow into this relationship that you shared?
We just continued. I lived in Palm Desert, California. He lived in Mesa. So our friendship was really over the phone every night, when all was said and done. When his day's work was done and my day's work was done, that, he would inevitably call, and we would talk for a while, anywhere from, half hour, or sometimes it would end up being 4 hours, and then we'd fall asleep and things like that. And then, with time, it just kind of progressed into a little bit more and a little bit more, until we decided to make it more official.
And then you two actually went.
Was there jealousy on the part of both of you guys? Or?
I would say, on my end, not so much jealousy, maybe a sense of insecurity, but that's just me. On his end, sometimes. I don't think it was warranted, but I took it as a compliment.
I was reading, I think it might have been his last note to you, May 1st this year, and it said, you're one of the hottest people he knew, and you must be making your town a lot hotter for being there.
Yeah, he said the hot quota or status, or I don't remember what he said. He made some comment. Yeah.
Did he bring you up a lot?
I don't know.
Was he able to bring your spirits up? I mean.
Oh yeah. He was very uplifting person. He knew every one of my buttons. He could bring me up or down, at the drop of a hat. But mostly he brought me up.
Were there problems with the problems in your relationship in those 5 months start pretty much immediately, or was it 3 months into it, or kind of help us understand that?
It was pretty much our relationship. It was just an average. I don't want to say average. Nothing is average with Travis. But any problems that we had, they occurred really right toward the end, and that signaled the end of our relationship. It's nothing that we continue to dwell on and try to work out.
What was the one thing that finally you said, this is it, or he said it?
It was just a breach of trust. I really don't remember the day at all. I just remember when I got the phone call.